Phil Bishop. Phil, tell us about what we got in store tonight.
Bobby Graham, we've got an incredible card. We are going to be having 4 qualifying matches to crown the #1 contender for the Intergenerational title. We're going to see Kid Smith versus Luke 9. We're going to see Ozzy versus the Man. himself, TJ Slater and Levi against the referees, PNC Graham and Thunder. It's an incredible show.
That's right, Phil, but before that, I would like to introduce the CWF faithful to the newest member of the Christian Wrestling Federation, all the way from North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the absolute truth, Alexander Moss.
I'm the absolute truth, and I'm walking the game. Give the enemies a heart attack. Cross mirror like I'm breaking backs. Pop snapple like I'm making snacks. If something's fake, then I'ma take a pass. And I'll verbalistic face, it's not a mask. And I'll set you back to your nigga. Back for now, and I'm hoping for later. I'm like I'm winning, and like a tornado. And I go for Jesus, just like a crusader. I'm always giving, no, I'm not a taker. But I won't give in, there's no point to wait. 8 beats to the sweat of vapor. I'll turn that lever on just like the Lakers. Death note, cause it shows what I
Alexander Moss, welcome to Christian Wrestling Federation proper. Right here. Alexander, welcome. Now you are one of our superstars for CWF Carolinas. You guys just had your first show not that long ago. Tell us why you're here. Tell us what you got to prove. Tell us about Alexander Moss.
But I'll tell you what, I love the Carolinas, do not get me wrong, but everybody told me that everything's bigger in Texas. I rolled around today, the houses are huge, I had a good meal, it was huge, I almost didn't finish it all, but I did because I'm a fat boy at heart. It was good, but what I love most is that you have the biggest hearts. Goodness, you know, the way that you have accepted the absolute truth, Alexander Moss, has done that but made me want to give you my heart. So every time I step foot in your ring, I'm going to give you my heart. Now here's the thing, as much as y'all love me, we know how it goes. Not everybody loves you. Alright, so love me or hate me. This is what I say, love me or hate me. Hate you.
Who can love this? And I hate everything that the CWF is doing now, bringing these guys when they have the real talent right here. Hey, back up, big boy. You want to talk about everything's bigger in Texas? Everything would be a lot bigger in Texas if they gave me what I deserve. I would have championships. I'd have banners. But instead, Rob holds me back. You CWF fans hold me back. Yeah, you too.
Wait a minute. May I? Listen. Texas, I love you. And I know that Colt Smith does not represent Texas. I'm sure that you guys think the exact same way, because the way that we do things where I'm from is if you feel like you deserve something, you go and earn it.
I am the face of Uprising.
You face. So if you're the face, you don't mind proving that tonight in a match with me.
Well, you see, I have a match already, and I'm just not available, you see. Really? I don't know what to tell you. We can do it right now, Colt. We're going to stretch. I haven't stretched.
It's time to believe in Luke 9. Let's go!
Say, Colt, Mr. Uprising, real deal. Yeah. Well, I think you're out here saying that you're the face of Uprising, but I think according to these fans, I don't think you are. Yeah, you like So let me propose something to you. He said everything is bigger in Texas, and I think it deserves a warm welcome. So I know that me and you have a qualifying match tonight. That's right. So let's make it even bigger. I love competition, and I welcome anybody from the Carolinas. I mean, I can handle it. So how about we make this a triple threat? You heard the CWF faithful. You heard the Royal Nation. How about we make it official? Triple threat. Triple threat. Triple threat. Triple threat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 3 wrestlers standing on this ring. We've got a crowd that's ready for a triple threat. I know, I'm ready for a triple threat. I think all we need is a referee. Hey Colt, you signed the contract, get in the match. Ring the bell.
Welcome everyone to CWF Uprising, and we are starting off with an impromptu triple threat match, a qualifying match for the main event. It was scheduled to be Colt Smith versus the Apostle Luke 9, but somehow the Absolute Truth Alexander Moss has now been added, and we have a triple threat match for our opener.
Well, Bobby Graham, you may know things, but Phil the Real Deal Bishop knows people. And my good friend Caprice Coleman has spoken very highly about Alexander Moss. He's a superstar at CWF Carolinas, and he's soon to be a superstar right here on CWF Uprising.
Absolutely. And speaking of superstars, the biggest star in Colt Smith's mind is Colt Smith. Yet when push comes to shove, he comes the outside saying he has to stretch. You've been here for 2.5 hours. Why were you not stretching beforehand? Meanwhile, the Apostle Luke 9 and Absolute Truth Alexander Moss logging up. Now you see a wrist lock by Alexander Moss. Great athletics, 2 great athletes here. Alexander Moss is a 5-year pro. He was, as you mentioned, he was partially trained by Caprice Coleman. He's had some incredible matches. He's been on AEW Dark. His biggest match to date was against none other than former Ring of Honor heavyweight champion Jay Lethal. So we have big expectations for what we're going to see here from Alexander Moss, the Absolute Truth, here tonight.
Well, right now it's Alexander Moss in control, but a little bit reversal by Luke 9. Luke 9 with a side headlock as Colt Smith is waiting on the outside looking for his opportunity.
Colt Smith is quite the opportunist. And so he's trying to get both men to wear each other down. But remember, this is a triple threat match, so it's one fall to a finish. You do not have to be factored in the decision to lose the match.
Beautiful couple of arm drags by both Luke 9 and Alexander Moss. Colt Smith still has yet to get in.
You're right, and nice escape there by the Absolute Truth. And these two are putting on a wrestling clinic here. But as we mentioned, this match is one fall to a finish. Unlike the main event, in the main event is 5-man mayhem. The winners of the 4 previous matches will all be in the ring at the same time. No countouts, no disqualification. The last man standing will be the number 1 contender. Vicious neckbreaker there by the Apostle Luke 9, going for a cover.
And Colt Smith has decided now it's his time to jump in and pull Luke 9. Oh my gosh, he's just manhandling Luke 9 on the outside of the ring.
Absolutely, and I gotta admit, this is a great strategy by Colt Smith. Colt Smith is actually a 12-year veteran, and it's showing here. He is taking his time. He is controlling the pace of when he gets in the ring, letting these two athletes want to show off their skills, wear each other down, so he can get in. But I think he got a little too cocky, and he takes a deep arm drag by the Absolute Truth.
That's the thing with a triple threat match, Bobby. You got to be paying attention to everybody in the ring. Colt Smith took his attention off of Alexander Moss. He had it solely on Luke 9, and now he's paying the price.
Telegraph that into a spinning neck breaker. Says that's it. Only a 2. Luke 9 trying to break it. He didn't get out in time. Thankfully for Luke 9 and for Alexander Moss, Moss had the wherewithal to kick out.
Well, there's a lot riding on this opening match here. The first of 4 qualifying matches to determine the number 1 contender. Beautiful enziguri by Alexander Moss.
Absolutely perfect. And yes, this is the first of 4 matches still to come. We have Ozzy versus Dylan Cavens. We have Omega versus Bradley Collins. And in tag team action, we're going to see Property of Self, TJ Slater, and Levi Lucas. Nice move there by Colt Smith.
Tilt-a-whirl body slam. Luke 9 makes the save. And now Luke 9 turning his attention to Colt Smith in the corner.
As I was saying, we have a tag team match, Property of Self versus PFC Graham and Thunder, first time pairing together. The winners of those 4 matches will face off and then will crown a new number 1 contender to face the interdenominational champion Justin James on October 29th at the next Uprising.
Well, Colt Smith doing a little bit of dirty work right there, getting the choke. Oh, and he just put his hands on the referee. That's an automatic $5,000 fine and potential suspension, and Colt Smith does not need that in a number 1 contender match.
Big boot there to Alexander Moss. Great strategy. Keep him out of the ring. Keep one opponent out of the ring. Focus on the other. Make sure that you are in the ring in position to get that win, to get that pinfall or submission.
Well, you
Irish Rip reverse, and you see Luke 9 just took the corner post to the shoulder.
Luke 9 on the outside may have damaged that shoulder. You know, we were talking
Look at this.
Look at this springboard!
He went all the way across the ring with that springboard drop kick. Oh my goodness!
Never in my 39 years have I seen athleticism like that in a CWF ring.
That was incredible. I can't believe that. Now, big boot there.
Rarely am I speechless, but I'm speechless.
Look at this. Springs in.
Oh my gosh!
Moonsault. Is it going to be enough? Only a 2.
Oh, I thought that was 3. Beautiful save by Luke 9. We are getting to see some real action by Alexander Moss as Luke 9 turns his attention. But Moss fighting back.
Fist of Fury there by the Absolute Truth. Alexander Moss goes up lifted. Wow! Pop up into a cutter. Is that going to be enough?
Colt Smith making the save. Beautiful action to start off CWF Uprising.
Super kick!
And Luke 9 is down. He doesn't know what day of the week is, let alone what show he's on.
I don't think he got all of that kick, but he got enough to knock him looping.
Almost a 3 count.
This is just our opening match, Bishop.
This is main event quality. This is what separates CWF Uprising.
Nice tilt-a-whirl counter. Picks him up. Brainbuster! Brainbuster! Is that going to be enough? It is!
Alexander Moss is for real, Bobby Graham.
Alexander Moss, the absolute truth, successful in his debut here on CWF Uprising. He is the first entrant into 5-Man Mayhem in our main event. Ladies and gentlemen, still to come, we have Ozzy versus Delin Cavens, Bradley Collins versus Omega, Property of Self versus POC Grandman Thunder, plus 5-Man Mayhem to continue here on CWF Uprising.
Think about if Alexander Moss, being from CW California's, in his debut showing in CWF Uprising, what if this guy goes all the way to the main event, takes that #1 contendership? What an amazing attribute, an accolade to put on your resume to say, I became the #1 contender my first showing at Uprising.
That would be a huge feather in his cap, and I'm sure if he is successful tonight, you become the #1 contender. If he can show that, keep that momentum going against Justin James on October 29th, you imagine he would take the interdenominational title back to CWF Carolinas.
Have you seen this cap that you're talking about him putting a feather in? I didn't see him walking with a cap.
It's kind of like a fedora. Looks really good on him.
I like it. Let's go back to Beard the Ring for the intros to our second match.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that I just heard Alexander Moss say, I'm going to be here a while.
We hope so.
And if I know what I just saw, I know for a fact he's going to be back here later tonight to compete as the first entrant in our #1 contenders match for the interdenominational title. But we can't have a #1 contenders match with only one entrant. So what do you say we have another match?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to have our second match here on CWF Uprising, and I have been looking forward to this match. We have two great high flyers. He's got moves.
Liberating streak of 25-18.
Delin Cavens back here at Uprising. The last time we saw him was at Caged Fury, and he was very impressive in that match. I am looking forward to this match as he is an incredible high flyer, graduate of DFW All-Pro, one half of the MPX Tag Team Champions. He is an incredibly exciting entertainer, and he's going against one of the top talents, the hottest newcomers in the Christian Wrestling Federation, none other than Ozzy.
This guy right here, Ozzy, is so impressive. He's so new to the business, but the way he works, you think he'd be a 5, 6, 10-year veteran. Just had one of the most incredible matches against Barrett Brown I've ever seen in my professional career. And I'm telling you right now, Bobby, we are looking at the future of professional wrestling in Ozzy.
You are absolutely right, Bishop. And this match, again, we talked about how the last match was main event quality. I believe this match is the main event anywhere in the United States.
Well, I haven't had the opportunity to see Delin Cavens yet, so I'm really excited about what's going to happen in this match with Ozzy and Delin. I've heard nothing but great things about Delin, and I'm excited about this next #1 contenders match.
This match is going to be fast-paced. It is going to be very hard. I apologize in advance to the fans if we're not able to keep up with every move. They move so quickly, it is hard to catch it all.
Luckily, we have high-definition cameras so that you can catch all the action, even if we don't hear it ringside. And sportsmanship.
Feeling out process. These two are so good. Ozzy, as we've mentioned time and again, is trained at the Rhodes Wrestling Academy by none other than Dustin Rhodes, son of the legendary American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And this kid is just so amazing. Not only does he have tremendous moves, look at this quickness by Delin Cavens, though.
You know, Ozzy's already made such a name for himself in such a short amount of time in professional wrestling. You know, we talked about that feather in the cap of Alexander Moss in the last match, but what a feather in the cap of Dylan Cavins if he can defeat Ozzy for that spot in the #1 contender main event tonight.
I love this feeling out. And look at the speed of Dylan Cavins. It is not often that you see Ozzy outmatched when it comes to speed. It's also not often you see him as the bigger man in the match. But look at the quickness of Cavins.
2 count. Ozzy kicks out, but Dylan Cavins is for real.
He is for real. That is why he has been such a success. And he's only in his rookie year as well. He's just about to hit his 1-year mark. And he's shown quite a bit of success. But Insecurity there by Ozzy, that'll rock anybody.
Dylan in the corner, taking some time. Ozzy John with the crowd, setting him up. Puts all his weight into that. Snapmare.
Love it. No wasted motion there by Ozzy. But he's giving Dylan a moment to breathe. I'm not sure if that's very wise. Oh, see, counter. Through counter.
No! That rocked the world of Ozzy. There goes the pin. 1, 2. And Ozzy kicks out. Great quickness by Dylan.
Only a 2 count there. He goes for a second one.
Only a 1 count that time. Ozzy getting his wits about him now, Bobby.
I think Ozzy, like I said, usually the faster the opponents, and he's not used to facing someone the speed of Dylan Cavins.
Dylan kind of taking a little bit of a break himself as Ozzy's trying to get his whereabouts at him. Dylan having some words with him, sets him up. Oh, and a kick right to the chest.
For 2 right in the chesticles of Ozzy. Third one. There's number 4. 4 times now. Oh, now he's caught. Went to the well 1 time too many.
You know, you talked about that. No! Wasted motion! And then Dylan Cavins with, oh!
Pele kick!
My gosh, Bobby. You know, we were talking about how quick the action is, and we don't even have time to call the moves because as soon as we call one, they're hitting another. One with an Insecurity, Ozzy with the Pele kick. This is absolute amazing action. Both men down now. Who will make it back up?
That's a great question. You see Dylan Cavins holding his jaw. He just got rocked with that Pele kick. Kind of surprised he's still standing.
Both men back up. Clothesline by Ozzy.
There's a second one. Lynn goes for a clothesline. Duck. Sling blade.
And Ozzy's got his second win. Firing up. Lynn is rocked in the corner.
Drop kick. He says he's going up top.
High risk maneuver. Will it pay off? Or will it come back and bite him in the rear? We're about to find out, Bobby.
Is he going to go for that swanton he's put away several people with here on Uprising?
Taking a lot of time getting up there.
Oh! Dylan countered.
But I think Ozzy...
Cavin in Paradise! Cavin in Paradise! Is that going to be enough? Only a 2.
We were milliseconds away from crowning an achievement into Lynn Cavins' resume in his first year as a wrestler. Somehow Ozzy with the wherewithal to kick out. Now Dylan planning his next series of attacks, but he's taking a lot of time.
He is taking a lot of time. And Phil, I just want to point out, they have to have something left in the gas tank for the main event. Because you got to beat your opponent here, but then you're going into 5-man mayhem and facing 4 other opponents. Claymore kick! Look at this! He picked him up. Again, no wasted motion. He's going for the Styles Clash. And he hits it! Styles Clash! Ozzy advances to 5-man mayhem.
Oh my gosh, think about this. Alexander Moss and Ozzy. Who's going to join them in that main event for the #1 contendership? We still got 2 more big matches, plus the main event.
I can't believe this is already turning out to be an incredible main event with Ozzy and Alexander Moss. Those two alone, I would love to see those two go one-on-one somewhere in the future. Regardless of what happens tonight, that match needs to happen. Ozzy with another win here in the Christian Wrestling Federation. He is building up quite the resume.
I tell you though, this Dylan Cravens, you told me all about him backstage, Bobby. Very impressive. This action was so quick. Like I said earlier, I'm so glad we had high definition cameras to catch all this action.
Look at the sign of respect, first by Ozzy, then by Dylan Cavens. That sportsmanship, that is what this is all about here in CWF Uprising, bringing the best athletes to the ring to give their all, to glorify Jesus Christ in and out of the ring. Ozzy with the win here tonight, going to the main event. Dylan Cavens will live to fight another day. Once again, very impressed by both of these athletes.
Dylan, keep your head up. You are a true champion and a star in the making, my friend. Let's throw it back to Beard in the ring because we've got 2 more qualifying matches, Bob. Cap.
We now have 2 wrestlers in our 5-man mayhem match for the end of the night. But I think that we're still 3 short. I think we need another wrestler ring. Coming to the ring from Corsicana, Texas, weighing in at 235 pounds.
The Hot Shot Bradley Collins returning to CWF Uprising. We haven't seen him in a while, Bishop, because he has been traveling abroad. He has wrestled in London. He's wrestled in Canada. And he is back. And I am anxious to see what the big man can do. Now he is going against the Ultimate Underdog Omega for our 3rd match.
You know, you got to give the size advantage to Bradley Collins, but if there's one thing I've grown to love about Omega, you said it, the ultimate underdog. I cannot wait to see what this kid has. He has come so far just in the last year alone. He has really risen above. You know, they say the cream rises to the top, and Omega is rising to the top.
He is absolutely rising to the top here in the CWF. He is a star, and he might be the smallest guy on the roster, but I've said it time and again, he has got the biggest heart, and he has overcome so much. He has overcome the odds to win the Emilio Lucero Battle Royal at our anniversary show. He has beaten people bigger than him, people stronger than him, people that are tougher than him, and he just finds a way to win. He never quits. He never gives up. There's so much respect for him, and so do the fans here at CWF Uprising.
You know, Bobby, I hear the guys in the back talking. Omega, obviously a lot smaller. The guys just simply underestimate him. But I have to ask, at what point is the roster going to stop underestimating Omega? Because this kid overcomes challenge after challenge after challenge. And the more you underestimate him, the more wins he's racking up.
You're absolutely right, Bishop. And I think it's time that people start to estimate him. Because, like you said, he keeps racking up the wins. And I think that winning this match here against Bradley Collins, and if he's able to go on to 5-Man Mayhem and somehow beat 4 other men there, then he gets to face his biggest challenge, literally and figuratively, in Justin James. If he would be able to win a title here in CWF, I think that people will start looking at him differently. And while I was saying that was a vicious powerbomb variation by Bradley Collins. That could have very well ended the match right there.
Well, you know, I watched Omega's head bounce off the canvas. We could be looking at a potential concussion right here. But then look at him just laying him on the top rope like dirty laundry. Oh! And a beautiful twisting neck breaker, too!
Draped him over the ropes, then did a twisting neck breaker. He's a big guy, but he doesn't stick to a big guy arsenal. He has some very innovative moves, does Bradley Collins, and I wouldn't expect anything less because he was trained by Barrett Brown. So this man has one of the best trainers you can possibly have.
Absolutely. You know, I'm sitting there watching, and although Bradley Collins is dominating the match, something that is undervalued, if you will, Omega is continually fighting back. He is staying in this fight. Oh, and a big boot just takes the fight right out of Omega.
He just caved his chest in with that big boot.
Bradley Collins just slowing the pace down. Omega being a smaller guy, he wants to wear the big guy down. He wants it a fast pace, and Bradley Collins is saying, absolutely not. I will control the pace of this match, and he's just picking him up like a rag doll.
My goodness!
Bobby!
He went for that move. He did not get all of it. Omega was able to counter out and just locked Bradley Collins. I was surprised.
Bradley says, no, sir. That is not what I have planned for today. And he's turning his back on Omega.
I think Bradley Collins is frustrated that that move did not pan out the way he expected. But Omega was able to actually land on his feet instead of landing on his neck. That could have been vicious. That could have been the end of the match. But now he's going to sleeper into a full Nelson. Just toying with Omega now. Full Nelson slam. I don't think he got all of that, but he got enough. Only a 2.
Again, Bradley Collins controlling the pace of the match. Oh, I thought he was going to set him up for a sharpshooter, but he just dropped the legs on the midsection, and Omega's in some serious trouble right here. Submission hold.
He dropped the leg partially on the knee, so he's hyperextending the leg of Omega. Omega, depending on his speed and depending on top rope maneuvers, if he can't stand, he can't fight.
Well, then there's so much more going on. You talk about the ACL, you talk about the knee, all the ligaments that are going in the leg. But look at him, he's fighting back. He will not stop. Elbows right to the face of Bradley Collins, and that breaks the hold. And now Omega getting back to his feet, rubbing his shins, trying to get some feeling back into it, and he's just sticking to the attack on the big man.
Omega gets him into the corner. Irish whip.
Some shoulder tackles by Omega in the corner.
I think that he was going for his clothesline through the middle rope, but I think because of his leg being worked on just a minute ago by Bradley Collins, he wasn't able to get all of it.
Oh, and Omega went for the old up and over, but Bradley Collins scouted it and then just clobbers him with a clothesline in the corner.
Bradley Collins needs to take advantage. I think he took a little bit too long. You see there by Omega countering.
Now Omega taking too long. Omega goes home, but he misses. Bradley Collins scouted it.
Omega code!
Twist of fate into the Omega code. 1, 2, 3.
Little bit rough. I think that working on his legs like that made it a little harder for Omega, but he was able to pull off the win against a man much bigger in Bradley Collins. Bradley Collins visibly frustrated, but Omega is your third entrant into 5-Man Mayhem.
This is exactly what we're talking about. The ultimate underdog. You cannot count him out. You never know. Bradley Collins was setting him up for the twist of fate. Omega was able to do an extra turn on the twist of fate to turn it in to the Omega code and get the 1, 2, 3. What an amazing victory for Omega.
So let's see, we got Alexander Moss. We got Alexander Moss. We got the Teenage Ozzy. We got the ultimate underdog, Omega. But that still leaves 2 spots for our main event. We're going to settle this one in a tag team match. The winners of this match will enter the 5-man match for the main event, where they will fight on their own. Coming to the ring first, at a combined weight of 426 pounds.
Property of Self, TJ Slater and Levi Lucas, as you see, wearing championship gold. They are the DFW All-Pro Tag Team Champions. And I would say that gives them a huge advantage in this match because their opponents are teaming for the first time. Their opponents are PFC Graham and Thunder. Go ahead.
Here's the thing, Bobby. You're talking about how them being champions gives them the upper hand, but doesn't knowing every rule in professional wrestling and the combined experience of these two referees turned pro wrestlers, doesn't that maybe give them the upper hand?
Perhaps in wrestling overall, but in tag team competition, having fluidity, having one mind with your partner is so incredibly important.
First, coming to the ring from Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, weighing in at 236 pounds.
You know, PFC Graham coming from Camp Lejeune, you know things, but I know people. I was speaking with PFC Graham's attorney earlier this week about whether or not PFC Graham drank the water at Camp Lejeune. As you know, there's a class action lawsuit, and I'm happy to say there are no side effects in PFC Graham after drinking that water at Camp Lejeune.
Yep. I would say,
and his tag team partner.
Thunder comes to the ring wearing a ref shirt. Now we've seen both of these guys, PFC Graham and Thunder, as referees on Eternal. Is he confused about what he's doing here tonight? We saw him on Eternal. He threw himself into a match that he was reffing and made it a triple threat.
I think Property of Self is confused.
He's checking PFC Graham.
Well, nobody ever accused Thunder of being the sharpest cookie in the tool shed.
Sharpest cookie in the tool shed. I think you might have overbaked them if they're sharp.
TJ Slater, Levi Lucas, DFW All-Pro Tag Team Champions. These guys are legit, but they are going up against two people that know the rules of professional wrestling better than anyone. And I'm going to say that gives the team of the referees the upper hand.
It might very well give them the upper hand. We're going to have to see, but it looks like PFC Graham is none too happy with his shenanigans. Well, the shenanigans of Thunder. Thunder, fun-loving guy. Usually positive attitude, just happy to be here, but he is a serious threat in the ring. PFC Graham, also a serious threat. Remember, Bishop, he was a CWF heavyweight champion for almost 2 years.
Well, and I don't think we need to forget that Thunder's a former CWF Tag Team Champion. But before you go any further, Bobby, this match is brought to you by Pa's Pie Shop. Pa's Pie Shop in Greenville, Texas, the #1 eatery for Thunder.
It is Thunder's #1 eatery. That is absolutely correct. And I think he would love nothing more than to go celebrate there after a win here tonight, after 2 wins, hopefully for Thunder, because the winners of this match, then go into 5-man mayhem. And I gotta ask you, Phil. Thunder and PFC Graham, they have an alliance here tonight, but they're singles wrestlers. Levi Lucas and TJ Slater, when it comes time to the main event, if they are to advance, how will that work with them being a team? Would they try to eliminate everyone else and get it down to just them?
Well, and then if it gets down to just them, that creates a whole other issue, because if they have to wrestle each other and one of them wins, becoming the #1 contender for the ID title here in CWF Uprising, what does that do to their psychology as a tag team? What does it do to their friendship and their ability to work well together? It's a great question, Bobby. Great question.
We have seen that happen time and again in professional wrestling where one tag partner gets some single success and it ends up spelling the end of the tag team. I don't know that that happened. Nice drop kick there by Levi Lucas. Nice teamwork there by Property of Self.
Sets him up, big snap suplex. Thunder's in trouble, needing to make a tag. TJ Slater looking impressive.
Beautiful suplex there by TJ Slater, and a second one for good measure.
But he says one more, Bobby, one more!
Goes up, great muscle counter, knees to the temple by Thunder. He gets the tag to PFC Graham. Graham comes in with a fury. Clothesline, then a snapmare. Spinning elbow by PFC Graham.
What a great job. You know, TJ Slater is so impressive. He's got such an impressive physique. He's got so much gas in the tank, and PFC Graham taking it right to him. Beautiful strategy, if I do say so myself.
TJ Slater, absolutely a tremendous physical specimen. He has got the look, he's got the size. But PFC Graham has the experience here.
Graham's got him in the corner. Big right hands, and you see referee Josh talking to him. Oh, wait, what's this?
Thunder calling for PFC Graham to get him out of the corner. You are not reffing this match, Thunder. Referee Josh frustrated with Thunder.
I think PFC.
Oh! Right in the pleasure treasure.
Low blow by Levi Lucas, and that could be the game changer right there. TJ Slater picks him up. Huge body slam.
Covers him. Driver, is that enough? Only a 2.
Only a 2 count. Thunder getting confused that he is here to wrestle, not to be a referee. PFC Graham was distracted, paying too much attention to his tag team partner. Levi Lucas came in, and now it is a whole different ballgame as TJ Slater is going to work on the veteran PFC Graham.
It is indeed a whole different ballgame. Like you said, the veteran PFC Graham, he's got more time in the ring than both of his opponents combined. And you see, we've talked about that. That is something in Uprising. We're seeing a lot of rookie talents. We're seeing people in their first year, their second year. That is what Uprising is all about. It's all about opportunity for the new generation here in the Christian Wrestling Federation. Oh, spinal tap by Levi Lucas. Now he goes for the pin. Only a 2.
You know, I will give some kudos to Thunder in the corner. He has been ready, willing, and able to come in and break up that count every single time. And that, oh, beautiful European uppercut. I was going to say that is the sign of a good tag team partner, but great job tagging back in and out Levi Lucas and TJ Slater. These guys are dominating the match right now.
They are absolutely dominating. Oh, double purple nurple! Double purple nurple!
And TJ Slater seems to be proud of himself on that.
Oh, throws Levi Lucas in. Beautiful tag team moves there. Throws him in. Oh, big right hand. TJ Slater, fireman's carry. What's he got planned here? TKO variation. Is that going to be enough? How did he kick out of that? And why did Thunder not break that count?
Wow. You know, you've seen Thunder try to come in and break every single count, but the one that we really thought was going to do it, he didn't come in. PFC Graham able to get that shoulder up. The match continues, but now Graham desperately needs to make a tag. Graham's been in there too long, and he's taken a lot of punishment, Bobby.
And I just realized Thunder probably has some extra motivation to win this neck breaker, considering the attack that he had where he caused the triple threat match on Eternal was it because of Justin James picking on him. How much would Thunder love to get revenge by winning here, winning 5-Man Mayhem, and then facing Justin James one-on-one for that ID title?
PFC Graham trying to make that tag, finally gets it! Thunder the freshman in, Levi Lucas ducks the clothesline, drop kick into the corner!
Beautiful drop kick there. Goes up, monkey flip all the way across the ring. Levi Lucas was not prepared for that. Low clothesline there by Thunder. Is that going to be enough? Only a 2.
Levi kicks out. Thunder can't believe it. He's frustrated, but he's got to stay on the attack if they have any chance of winning this match.
That was a nice move set there by Thunder. Wait a minute. He just got a blind tag in. I don't know that he was ready. Counter. Clothesline ducked. Clothesline ducked again.
And 2 freight trains colliding in the night.
Oh man, double clothesline. It looked like Levi Lucas and Thunder both made tags though. Am I correct in thinking that?
It did look that way. Thunder's in the ring, stalking TJ Slater. Stalking him.
Thunderstruck! Does that leg lariat? But, yep, I was correct. Josh says that he's not the legal man.
And now it's a battle of the referees.
What are you doing, tagging yourself in my ass? What are you doing?
PFC Graham is not happy with Thunder. Communication completely breaking down here. Levi Lucas is just waiting on the outside. And you see PFC Graham strike Thunder.
Now TJ Slater's got PFC Graham in a full Nelson.
And Levi Lucas just used the DFW Tag Team belt to clock Thunder. They're both the legal men. Property of Self sneaks a win away, adding insult to injury by using those tag titles.
And final entry in tonight's main event. Property of Self, Levi Lucas and DJ Slater.
Bobby, that was a great job being able to tell that both Levi Lucas and Thunder blind tagged their partners in. Thunder came in, did not see the blind tag, thought TJ Slater was still the legal man, went for the cover. Referee Josh letting you know he was not the legal man. Breakdown between the referees as PFC Graham strikes Thunder. Levi Lucas hits Thunder with the belt, gets the 1, 2, 3, and now they are our final 2 entrants into the 5-man mayhem for the #1 contendership of the Interdenominational Championship.
And PFC Graham is just fuming. He is furious at Thunder. And honestly, I can't blame him. Thunder to the blind tag. I don't think Thunder's head was fully in the game here tonight.
There will be no celebration at Paws Pie Shop in Greenville for Thunder, the #1 eatery on Thunder's list.
Unfortunately not. And you see a stare down between PFC Graham and Thunder.
Sorry, Bobby.
Neither one of these men are happy, and I can't blame them. It's just kind of uncomfortable.
You got to keep in mind, these guys are referees. These guys have another job to do. How is this going to affect their referee duties? How is it going to affect them in the back?
Ladies and gentlemen, that settles it. I don't know if Property of Self can handle themselves one-on-one, but they proved themselves as a tag team tonight. So our main event will be Alexander Moss. The TNS Aussie. The ultimate underdog, Omega. TJ Slater, Levi Lucas, in a 5-man mayhem match for the #1 contender for the CWF Interdenominational Championship. They will get their opportunity in October. Who was in this building 2 weeks ago for CWF Uprising?
You and I were, Bobby.
We were.
Who saw the end of that show where Ryan Hart secured himself in the championship scramble?
You and I did, Bobby.
We sure did.
Ryan Hart is trying to stack the deck. He is trying to make sure that he wins that championship scramble, and he did it by announcing his first opponent, the Guardian, his tag team teammate. I don't know about you guys. I don't trust him. I don't trust the Guardian. But I know for a fact that the Jesus freak Rob Vaughn is hard at work at contracts to make sure that you, the CWF fans, get the match that you deserve.
Absolutely right.
That match. Gosh, I'm excited. My voice is disappearing. That match will happen 2 weeks from tonight.
All right!
October 14th, right here in the auditorium. But you guys aren't here to see that match yet. You guys are here to see a 5-man mayhem for the #1 contendership for the Interdenominational Champ title. This match will have no disqualifications. This match will have no countouts. The wrestlers will be eliminated one by one via pinfall or submission only. The last man standing will be your #1 contendership and will face Justin James for the Interdenominational title. And with that, here are our contenders.
It's time for 5-Men Mayhem here on Uprising.
I am excited about this match to see 5 men competing for the #1 contendership for the interdenominational title.
Here we see the man who made his CWF Uprising debut, the absolute truth, Alexander Moss. And what a showing he had in that triple threat against the Apostle Luke 9 and Colt Smith. I still can't believe some of the things we saw. He cleared the entire ring with that springboard dropkick. And I can't wait to see what happens against his 4 opponents here tonight. And Phil, I got a question for you. If you're Justin James, what do you think watching this match? Who do you root for?
I think if you're Justin James, you don't care. The man has every one of these athletes outweighed by a minimum of 100 pounds. And he's mean. He's tough. He doesn't play fair. I think in Justin James' mind, there's no one on the roster that can take that belt away from him.
And it's going to be very difficult for anyone to do so, because like you said, he has got the size, a massive size advantage over anyone in this match. Whoever wins this match, all 5 men are very quick. You got some very athletic men in here, and they're going to have to depend on their speed and their cunning in order to defeat a man the size, the stature of the interdenominational champion, Justin James.
But you know, I said earlier, Justin James is mean. The meanest man I ever met was Mr. Green, my electrical engineering teacher in high school. The man was just mean. But Justin James is 3 times meaner.
Wait a minute! Omega making his way to the ring, and you see Property itself just attacks him out of nowhere. They're trying to get an advantage, but they're taking the smallest guy out.
Oh my goodness, they just dropped him.
He just picked him up, and Levi Lucas punt kicked him into the ribs right as that happened. What a dirty tactic. Referee saying to ring the bell. This match is already on the way. Look at this. But look at Alexander Moss and Ozzy. Look. Double tope! Oh my goodness, all the way through.
Absolutely incredible.
Can you believe that?
What a way to start the main event.
This is what CWF Uprising is all about. Fast-paced action, high intensity. What a great move there by Alexander Moss, because this is every man for himself. Moonsault, Enziguri didn't get all of it caught. Roll through Moss now, thrown into the corner. Big elbow there by Moss. Springboard into a twisting sunset.
My goodness! And Omega breaks up the count.
Omega still rocked. My goodness, kick to the midsection by Ozzy. Springboard sunset, oh my goodness! 2.
And I thought we had our #1 contender.
I think Omega got a little confused. He shouldn't break up any counts now. This is every man for himself. This is elimination. Unlike the triple threat that we saw that was first fall, every person in here has to be eliminated. And now you see Property itself attacking Omega once again.
Well, then, Bobby, I appreciate you pointing that out. This is every man for himself. Every pinfall is an elimination. So, fans, you're going to hear the bell ring after every pinfall, but the match is not over until the last man is standing.
Absolutely right. And now you see TJ Slater stomping at the legs of Alexander Moss. If you take out his legs, you're taking out 90% of his offense. You see a strike there. You see Ozzy down. Levi Lucas just keeping Omega out. Omega has not actually entered the ring yet in this match. We are about a minute and a half into the match, and he has not been able to even get in the ring yet.
But look at him. Every time he gets knocked down, he gets right back up. He is desperately trying to get in. He wants to be that number one contender. Can you imagine if somehow Omega was able to win this match and become the number one contender? You would have the largest man in the CWF versus the smallest man in the CWF for the interdenominational title.
You're right, and you just saw him up and over there by Alexander Moss. TJ Slater knocked to the outside, to the outside, to the outside. Levi Lucas turned inside out by that missile drop kick. You've got bodies all over the place. Suplex, beautiful by Alexander Moss.
Suplex with a 42 count.
Only a 2 for the absolute truth.
Omega makes his way in the ring.
Slater's back in, kicks Moss. Tosses him to the outside.
Gosh.
There's Omega. Big forearm there and a second one. Then you see Ozzy stomping on Slater.
And Levi Lucas comes to the aid of his tag team partner.
Big belly to back by Levi Lucas. Ozzy in there with some big right hands to TJ Slater. And I got to think, if I'm Ozzy, if I'm Alexander Moss, I would form an alliance to try and get at least one of Property of Self out, because you know that they're going to work together until it's down to the two of them.
Did you see the strength of TJ Slater scooping up Ozzy like he weighed nothing, and then that vicious backbreaker?
He is so incredibly strong.
Freakishly strong. But again, you've got a really good point. The object here would be to get one of Property of Self out of the match.
He deadlifts Omega. Levi Lucas now scouting him from the middle rope. He gets him up. What is he doing here? Oh!
Haas may have to stop this before Omega gets hurt.
I don't know what to call. I know things. I don't know what to call that move other than devastating. Absolutely devastating.
Well, Omega's been rocked. You've got Property of Self are the only two standing tall, but we have not had an elimination. All 5 men are still in competition for the number one contendership.
And as much as I respect the DFW Tag Team Champions, I think they made a huge mistake there by not going for the pin on Omega. Now you see, he went to charge Alexander Moss. Moss pulled the top rope down. TJ Slater goes over the top rope. Oh, big shoulder to Levi Lucas. Springboards in. Sunset flip. 1, 2. Only a 2.
Alexander Moss with the upper hand. And big enziguri. Levi Lucas goes down. Can he capitalize?
Levi Lucas is down. Omega is down. TJ Slater is down. Ozzy crawling his way back up, finally to his feet on the outside. Absolute Truth standing tall, just takes a kick to the face from Ozzy. And a second one for good measure. Ozzy gets down in the corner. Springboard into a dropkick in the corner. What a beautiful move by the rookie Ozzy.
Ozzy taking his attention off of Alexander Moss, throwing Levi Lucas out, going back to Moss now. He needs to capitalize after that vicious kick.
He shoots Alexander Moss into the ropes, clothesline ducked, super kick with authority. Is that going to be enough? Oh, 2 3/4.
Alexander Moss kicks out. It's only 2. Referee Haas says only 2. Ozzy frustrated. I think Ozzy is viewing Alexander Moss as one of his biggest opportunities in this match, and he wants to get him out. so he can be that number 1 contender.
All due respect to the other 3 combatants in this match, I desperately want to see Alexander Moss and Ozzy in a one-on-one match. I think that would be a main event anywhere you go. And now you see TJ Slater and Levi Lucas right here in front of us, right in front of the commentary table, planning, plotting. Big move by Alexander Moss. Almost.
Again, only 2, Bobby, only 2. How do these guys, and again, this is the main event. These guys, if one of them is eliminated, they've still got to keep wrestling. The match is not over.
You are absolutely right here. And now we see Moss toss to the outside. TJ Slater with a kick to the face for good measure. Codebreaker by Levi Lucas. That was a 3.
Ozzy has been eliminated. The match continues.
Little confusion there by what exactly was happening. It was a 3 count. Ozzy gets eliminated. Property itself is still in it. Alexander Moss is still in it. I have not seen Omega, and I don't know how long. Is he still in it?
He is still officially in the match. I think there was confusion there just for a second because 2. Nope, only a 2. Ozzy got his shoulder up just after the 3, so it looked like a kick out. Unfortunately for Ozzy, it was not. The fans disappointed that Ozzy has been eliminated. Here we see a second suplex.
The fans are disappointed. Bobby, I'm disappointed. Ozzy's out of it.
He just hit the brainbuster on Levi Lucas. Levi Lucas has been eliminated.
And we've got it. We've got it. TJ Slater, one-on-one in the ring right now against Alexander Moss. But does Alexander Moss have anything left in the tank?
TJ Slater disappointed in his partner. The numbers game is not in his favor. Roll up there. Kick out. Clothesline. Duck. Oh! Get a ripcord into a knee to the face. Brainbuster!
TJ Slater doesn't know where he's at. But wait a minute. Colt Smith's at ringside with a chair. What is he doing out here?
Colt Smith, he just cracked Alexander Moss with the chair. And he throws TJ Slater on. He is upset that Alexander Moss interfered in his match and took his spot. I know Colt Smith. I know how he thinks. That has got to be it. Look at TJ Slater. TJ Slater thinks that he won.
Is this a no disqualification match?
It's no disqualification. No count out. But Omega, look, Omega's up on the top rope. He hasn't been eliminated. He hasn't been eliminated. Crossbody! Crossbody! Omega's your winner!
Omega is the #1 contender for the CWF Interdenominational Championship. I can't believe it, Bobby.
He wins. He overcomes the odds once again. The ultimate underdog living up to his name. Outlasts 4 other opponents to become the #1 contender. So he is going to go one-on-one with Justin James on October the 29th at the next CWF Uprising event. And quite honestly, I am surprised, with all due respect, and maybe I shouldn't be surprised, but he pulled a fast one here. Wait a minute! It's Bradley Collins!
What is Bradley Collins doing out here now?
Bradley Collins attacking Omega.
No, what is he doing? Bradley Collins has just become unhinged, and he's taking out his frustrations on Omega. He's the #1 contender. None of this is going to change what happened in the match earlier. Omega has won fair and square twice tonight.
Oh, he hits his own codebreaker variation.
Alexander Moss back in the ring with a chair. Bradley Collins retreating to the back. And you see referee Haas checking on the #1 contender. Bradley Collins and Alexander Moss having some words, Bobby.
Alexander Moss, I saw him grabbing the chair, and I think Bradley Collins saw it as well, deciding to hightail it. So, Absolute Truth coming to the aid of Omega, our new #1 contender.
Listen to the crowd, Bobby. Listen to the crowd. Solidly behind the ultimate underdog, Omega, who is now the #1 contender against Justin James in the Interdenominational Championship. You asked me earlier, what is Justin James thinking? And I have to go back to what we've been talking about all night, Bobby. Is he underestimating this guy? And is that going to be the biggest mistake of the biggest wrestler in the CWF right now's undoing?
It very well could be. But I think that anybody, we've seen once again tonight, if anybody underestimates Omega, they are making a huge mistake.
Yes, they are, Bobby. But you know, we didn't bring this guy all the way down from the Carolinas just for his good looks. We're going to turn it over as Alexander Moss is going to give us the word.
Absolutely.
Y'all, that chair hurt. He's going to get his. He's going to get his. That chair hurt. He's going to get his. But we can talk about that another time. You know what? I appreciate that, sweetheart. You're amazing. And you remember that, okay? Most amazing. Thank you so much for that. I love you. You know, everything that we just finished putting our bodies through, and it's a lot. And I'm hurt for real right now. Y'all don't think this is real. I'm feeling it. But I'm going to tell y'all about somebody that put himself through way much more than anything that I just did. Anything that I just did. See, here's the thing. I think many times in life, we find this fella that I'm about to talk about, we find him intangible. Because we can't see him. Some people got to touch him, but we're not those people. We didn't get to touch him. Right? We didn't get that solid proof. You know, I could touch these ropes, so I know that they're here. If they wasn't, I wouldn't be running them, right? I could touch these ropes, so I know that they're here, but we didn't get them. We didn't get to do what Thomas did. But, although that didn't happen, I'm here to tell you tonight that he is very real. He's very, very tangible. It sounds like, from the way y'all talking right now, y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. Let me tell you how I know he's tangible, okay? One of my favorite books and chapters in the Bible is John chapter 17. Y'all keep that in your memory, okay? Y'all got good memories? All right, y'all got good memories? Keep that in your memory. I want you to go home and I want you to read it before you go to bed. Parent, take your kids, put them in the covers, and then read it to them, okay? John chapter 17. Because when you read John chapter 17, what you get to see is the love of Jesus. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You get to see the love of Jesus. This Jesus, after he had already did more than enough, he had already died. Okay, he had already did more than enough. But at this time, this same Jesus, he said a prayer for his people. Do y'all pray for one another? Right. And you do so because you love one another. Jesus prayed for his people. And there's two things that I want you to realize that he did inside of this prayer. As he prays to his heavenly Father, the first thing that he did is claim each and every one of us. He said, the people that you gave me. He claimed. Anybody ever been not picked before? Okay? I haven't always been the best athlete. I have somebody here that knows me. I haven't always been the best athlete. So I spent time not getting picked. But Jesus picked each and every one of us. And not only did he do that, but a little later down, and this is how I want you to realize that he is tangible. He knew exactly what each and every one of us was going to go through. He said, the world is going to hate them because it hates me. Anybody ever been through anything hard in life? I see a lot of hands. Me too. Life gets hard sometimes. But here's the thing about Jesus. He knew that it would get hard. So we prayed to the same Father that we prayed to because he knew that it would get hard. He knew that school would be hard for these little ones. Anybody tired of going to school yet? He knew that school would be hard for these little ones. Parents, are you tired of working your 9 to 5? Woo! He knew that would be stressful. He knew that sometimes our relationships would be strained. He knew sometimes, guess what? Watch this, because I know you've been there, because I've been there. He knew that we would doubt sometimes because of the things that take place in this world. So in John 17, he took out his time to say the most heartfelt prayer I've ever known. And I love that. And here's the thing for me, you know, people think because I'm a preacher's kid that I don't mess up, right? They think we don't mess up, don't they? They think we pray. No. I consider myself like Paul, you know, the worst of the worst sometimes. Sometimes I can't stand to look myself in the mirror. Again, I got somebody here that knew me in my college years, Lord have mercy. And sometimes I can't stand to look at myself in the mirror. But this same Jesus, all right, I'm going to take you to Acts chapter 2 and verse number 38 now. Okay, I'm almost done. I know somebody must have told him I'm long-winded when I preach, because he mentioned like 5 times today. Now, we don't go long, so I make sure I don't keep you too long. I'll preach, so you can come to church with me, okay? You can come with me, all right. In Acts chapter 2 and verse number 38, there was a big old crowd of people, okay? And they were all people just like you and me. They were sinners. They messed up a time or two. In fact, the majority of the crowd were the people who stood there and said, crucify him, crucify him. The same people that spit at him and laughed at him. The same people that mocked him. The same people that said, yeah, we'll take that murderer. You killed Jesus. That's the crowd that was there in Acts chapter 2. Jesus is risen and gone at this point, but he left his apostles to preach that same mission, right? And I want you to know this, because I know you're like me. Sometimes you're like, I'm just not good enough for this fella. I don't deserve his prayer. I don't deserve his mercy, his grace. I don't deserve his forgiveness. These people were just as bad, if not worse than we are. And then when they asked, oh my goodness, we've messed up, they said, men and brethren, what must we do in order to be saved? Now, do you know what they said? Some of us might think that they said, well, ain't nothing you can do for you. I mean, you killed the man. That's not what they said. It says, Peter said unto them, repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Jesus Christ, for the remission of your sins, and you shall receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. That right there knows the scripture. And so he gave us a way when we deserved no way. That's the fella I wanted to talk to y'all about tonight. I'm so thankful for Jesus, and I know that you are. And there may be some in the crowd right now that's teetering. And you know that you need something, but you haven't quite yet tried Jesus. Tonight is your night to try Jesus. I don't care how bad that you think you've been. I don't care how bad the situation you're going through is right now. I don't care what it is. I know that my Savior will never let you down. He set 4,000 people down to eat. And the disciples said, what in the world are we going to do? He said, we're going to feed them. We're going to feed them. And Jesus looked, he had compassion, and he said, I can't let them go and not be fed. You can accept Jesus right now by repenting and be baptized. You can accept Jesus right now. He will not let you leave here unfulfilled. So on the count of 3. Well, before we count to 3, can I get all my brothers and to come out to the ring with me? Ah, there they go. There they go. See, it's hard. I just got hit in the back with a chair, and I still have to be forgiven. Goodness gracious. He can come out tonight. You too, Cole. You can come out too. I forgive you for now. You have a group of men here. Yes, we love wrestling. We love it. It's our passion. But it's nothing like our love for Jesus Christ. And we love him because he first loved us. And so you have this group of men right here. We're all ready and prepared to talk to anyone who may need to be talked to tonight. Anyone who may need any prayer. Anyone who's ready to accept Jesus. All right? So at this time, I'm going to ask you to bow your heads and close your eyes. And now I'm going to count to 3. On 3, if you have a need, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3.